How's it going, everybody? We're going to be taking our first look at the Annihilation raid. This is not the Omega version. We did a video on that last night. It seems that needs to still marinate a little bit as far as the rewards go. I think that's actually a good thing. I did a video on it last night. You can go check it out if you want an in-depth reward video. I will say that for the non-Omega version, there is no completion rewards, just 5 L4s, and it's mostly node rewards. If you want to know the comparison between this raid and our current Chaotic Storm raid, it'll be in that video as well. We're going to primarily focus on gameplay here. It's going to be long enough because the 8 nodes will take us a little bit. And we want to see, like, are there certain characters that we don't have to do too much investment in? Like Moon Knight. I know a lot of people don't want to invest in Moon Knight at this point. Maybe some of the older Orchis members, you know, that kind of thing. So we're going to focus on that, but I do want to talk about the structure of the raid a little bit. So we have lane pairs. Lanes A and B are paired, C and D are paired, E and F, G and H, they're paired. What do I mean by that? Basically, you'll have like a lane partner. So the player who's clearing lane A can jump over to lane B, and B can jump over to A, but B cannot jump over to C. Why this could be important is if you can't clear a certain section. Let's say for some reason you are a newer player and you don't want to build your Orchis because you know when City of 6 comes, Orchis is going to drop off. Well, instead of being forced to build your Orchis, if you are paired with somebody in your lane who can clear their Orchis, well, then you could just kind of use their node to jump over to your lane thereafter. You'd still obviously miss a node, you'd miss those rewards, but you could jump over. Where you cannot do this, unfortunately, is the Hellfire section. So you can jump back and forth, or not back and forth, you could jump across for the Hellfire nodes themselves, but as soon as you get to the boss node, you're locked in. So if player B has a Hellfire team and player A doesn't, player B clearing the Hellfire nodes will not allow player A to do their boss node, right? And this would become important on the Omega version more so this version, because with this version we could just drop our difficulty down and go with the flow. So that's a little bit of structure talk for you. I don't hate it. No, that's not. I do kind of hate it. I actually already missed the Chaotic Storm raids because with those optional bosses, it laid the groundwork for them to be able to actually do a leaderboard with good rewards and be competitive. This doesn't lend itself to that. So I actually really don't like the structure of this raid. But let's go ahead, let's play the nodes, and let's see how it feels. I did notice yesterday when I was going over the rewards, these characters look incredibly small. We have sub 1 million characters. Now, it is important to note that for our testing here, all my characters are 7 red stars. You're probably going to have some diamonds on your Orchis, your Nightstalkers, maybe your Vigilante by now, right? So the nodes are actually going to be harder for these opening teams, which is interesting. But then obviously when we get to Hellfire, not a lot of people are going to have 7 red stars on their Hellfire characters. So the nodes are going to look easier than they'll be for us on the live server. So keep that in mind when we're going through this footage. Alright, so as far as this goes, we should get to go first. I don't see any super interesting raid characters on the enemy side. Man-Thing doesn't have his friends. Obviously Hercules and Jean would be interesting, except they don't have their full team either. I'm gonna kind of play it as if it was autoplay, like on Sim sort of deal. So let's check that out. I see that the game volume is peaking, so let me turn that down a little bit. Red Hulk's already at 3. Well, let's play it as if it was autoplay, right? Like, would it push that Red Hulk, and would he then pop off with his ultimate? We would ult here. Actually, we would be alt targeting the Red Hulk, so there'd be that. But he's dead before he gets his ult off, so we're not worried about that. One thing that I guess is kind of cool about this raid is that because there's only one node per team, with the exception of, like, the newest team, which is Hellfire, they're going to have 2 nodes. You don't have to worry about cooldowns at all, which is maybe something Scopely wants for the future of raids. Maybe they don't want to have to build in energy generation on these raid teams. That could be something that's interesting. Maybe bring a little bit of actual theory back to raiding, but probably not. I think it's pretty clear what they want is for raids to be kind of your daily check-in. And I'm not actually completely against that, to be honest. You can see the last video again from last night. I talk about that, how I think that if raids are just the daily check-in, that's fine, because they give us decent rewards, right? As long as the teams that they force us to build for the raids are fun and interesting and have some, you know, different team implications, different plug-and-play stuff, like the Hellfire team, of course, Emma's plug-and-play, but also with Azazel and Rachel doing their thing, that's cool. With the Insidious 6, there's obviously going to be so much plug-and-play with them and the various Sinister 6 characters, so that's cool too. So as long as they do that, then I'm down with it just being one node. As long as the rewards make sense, right? With 8 nodes on this highest difficulty, it is more rewards than you would get for doing the Omega Chaotic Storm at 100%. So that's cool. And it's a lot more than just the regular Chaotic Storm. It's quite a bit more than that, so that's cool too. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I have some issues with the golden antimatter, but you can see again in that other video. Anyway, that's the Orchis node free. Let's do the Nightstalker node next. This is where we'll have Moon Knight. We'll try and rely as little as possible on Moon Knight, I guess. I would switch this over for sure. You could be a Raider, sure. Striker, sure. All right, away we go. I'll try and rely as little on Moon Knight damage as possible. Lots of people are going to have this team a lot bigger, right? Your Blade, your Oath, they're prime. Oh, but there is... Oh, look at all these raid characters that we're up against. We got Extreme. We got some Thunderbolts. Ooh, okay. Offense down. Gets flipped to offense up. It didn't. Oh, he didn't flip it on himself. What a jabroni. All right, well, let's go ahead and let's rewind here anyway. Oh, if he had offense up, this would have been crazy. But yeah, lots of players are actually going to have this team much, much bigger because of the implications of Oath and Blade for Professor X. So I think that this section is going to be much, much easier on the live server, even if you do have a smaller Moon Knight. And the idea that you'd have diamonds on Agatha and Man-Thing is not far-fetched either. The Nightstalker's team is just so damn good, right? Let's play it like if it was auto, just to see how the sim will handle it. I do see we are just straight up allowing Hercules to do his thing. Rogue gets obliterated. But yeah, we're just going to let Hercules do his thing. Moon Knight ulting with his offense up is actually pretty impactful at this sort of a build. Moon Knight's not a bad character, by the way. Oh, he's going again. He's not a bad character, by the way. He's just not good enough to outvalue what plug-and-play characters do for this team, right? Okay, so if they all die... You actually lap him, and he gets owned. Alright, so yeah, because we get speed bar, I think for every kill from an Oath passive, I think we get speed bar. Oh, we would waste the ultimate here if it was on Sim. That's kind of lame. Alright, it does target the Jean Grey instead of the older and limited characters by default, so that's cool. So now that Expose is going to start decaying that Safeguard and the defense up, which is cool. Big hits. Lots and lots of big hits. This is unavoidable, and we'll actually strip those dodges and defense up off if you're... So, the minimum build you can do, for at least to hit difficulty 9, right, is still going to be level 85 with the ISO. So, would that be enough to, like, Moon Knight to strip these characters and stuff like that? Probably not. He would just die to, like, splash damage, you would think. So, oops, I should have ulted there. We've ruined the experiment. I've ruined it all. Alright, anyway. Not hard. Not hard. Oh, wait, this one looks a little bit more difficult. But yeah, it doesn't feel hard, and it feels like this is a worse example than what people will have on the live server, because people are going to have Gear Tier 20 on their Blades and their Oaths, and they're probably going to have Diamonds on these characters as well, especially by this point. And if they don't already, they should. Characters are so good. Yeah, you know what? It actually seems that because we're killing slow, we're in a weird cooldown situation here. So maybe there is going to be like a minimum required build to make sure your Nightstalkers are able to sim this. Which, by the way, Nightstalkers are definitely still worth the investment for whatever that's worth. Like, if someone were to ask me today, like, should I still build up my Nightstalker team? Yeah. You should. They're really good. Alright, here we go. Keep hitting. These older characters just get evaporated. Alright, I mean, they still don't get a turn. And Silver Sable, what's she going to do without her team? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Alright. So there's the first two nodes down. Definitely feel like we could have simmed this. Oh, there's actually one more character coming. Wait, why didn't the character drop in yet? We must be over our turn bar cap. Because of the kills and stuff. Unless there's like one character drops in at the very end. In that last video, I had a better analysis because I saw like when the characters drop in and stuff like that. But yeah, here we go. Gambit drops in all alone. Poor guy. Oof, look at that blade damage. And that's not a very like, that's not a near maxed out blade like a lot of people aspire to have. Okay, sure. These two nodes, super duper easy. Definitely not like looking like you need a big Moon Knight or a Mephisto or an Odin to get through this at all. What's up next? What's up next is the Uncanny Avenger team. So people would have had to have this built up for Spotlight 2, but a lot of people don't build it up super high because the nodes are incredibly easy, and they tend to go big on Storm and on Gene because of the Crucible use. And I say that because, in my opinion, more people value Crucible teams than they value War teams. If you valued War teams, then you actually have a big Hercules and a big Falcon instead. And I guess the size of beasts will be pretty important here too. Oops, my battery's dying. That's so on brand for me. Okay, so if our team was bigger, we would have actually pushed that endgame Thanos, so we would have lost all our buffs by now, which would not be a good thing, right? Like, if Storm and Jean were gear tier 20 and they had some diamonds on them, that guy's getting pushed. And that's not actually a super good thing for us, because we would lose our early speed up. And Beast doesn't give himself energy on his first turn? I thought he did. So he's not ulting turn 1. Ooh, look at that damage. That damage was pretty nasty. 11 enemies left. Some big hits coming in. Play it like it's auto plays. Hit that all. There is double Eternals here. So if we got rebound once, we'd get rebound into oblivion here. We didn't get to do our big hits with offense up, so we didn't get some. Oh my god. All right, well. That size Hercules will be good enough. Level 105, gear tier 19. No diamonds. Easily can get diamonds on this guy now, right? Alright, this will strip everybody, except for the Sasquatch, who had Safeguard. Okay, I mean, the Uncanny Node is free. I always found it kind of weird that they added this node. Yeah, I just thought it was weird that they added this node. If you just do a new Spotlight and put these guys on the first 4 nodes, like they have historically done for the Spotlight raids, right? Anywho, yeah, just play it like it's Sim. I guess the only reason you would want to make sure that your characters are good cooldowns going from node to node, or maybe Storm of Charges, would be for that final boss node. I guess. Alright. Okay. We're cruising. Node number 4. What's node number 4? It's going to be what? Thunderbolts? What's it going to be? Vigilante. Oh, I don't even care, dude. The Vigilante team is just going to walk over this, right? There's no shot the Vigilante team doesn't just walk over this. And people are going to have, like the Nightstalkers, you're going to have your Vigilante team much bigger. Much bigger. Because the Vigilante team is so, like, required for the Professor X saga. Alright. So it's interesting, the immunity from Daredevil gets applied before Pabs, so we don't get slow. Because we should have got a slow there, so that's good. There's no coin flip there, right? Okay. We get to go ahead, we'll strip all these buffs off. There's now vulnerables for days. We should definitely aspire to stun the Goblin here so he doesn't take... Wasn't he supposed to lose charges from Silver Sable Ultimate? Maybe I'm thinking wrong. Yeah, we'll stun him because we don't want to be losing the offense up, speed up that our Hitmonkey just threw out on us. Good stuff. I cannot believe Craven kept his buffs. That's nasty. He's got no vulnerables, so let's go over here, I suppose. Boom. Let's get an assist called in over here. Goodbye, Howard, right? Oh, yeah, he gone. Let's play it like it's Sim. So because the wave didn't drop in, we're going to have a bad situation as far as her ultimate goes. Again, it's not targeting the Green Goblin off rip, so we would actually have a bad situation here. He's going to start flipping some of our stuff. If we had diamonds or this team was bigger built, like it probably will be, we probably would have been having Silver Sable open with our ultimate on this node, I would think. We're not hitting to a vulnerable, right? The reason they put Peter Bees and Goblins and Lilandras on these nodes is pretty obvious. They do it because the lack of vulnerables messes with the Vigilante team. The problem is when you're so prescriptive with the nodes, how much can you really mess with the team, right? That's why you can never make raids interesting. Because if you're forcing a team, you can't hard counter that team. And the second you don't hard counter these super overloaded raid teams, it's just not interesting. Alright, but we are hitting to some vulnerables. Calling a Punisher assist. I don't think that assist actually activates the Silver Sable passive for the speed bar. Oh! Nasty turn meter rewind. We're about to get some trauma. Okay. And now Penny's gonna go crazy on us, right? Uh-oh. 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 No more buff strip. No more buff strip, no more offense up, no more good stuff. So simming with a full 7 red star team on the Vigilante would lose. That's why I say you can't really hard counter them, but they did. No, I mean, not really, because their characters are so weak. Our live characters are just going to demolish this. I'm not going to replay it or anything, but if I were to play this out, obviously would have just walked over it as well. Here's another nasty turn. Me to rewind. Plus, I think, what, slow and trauma? Oh, God, look at that death. Trauma plus heal block equals death. Penny is about to ruin his day. Hold on, the mirror crashed, but I didn't. All right, there we go. And we're not even hitting we're still avoiding the goblin with the auto targeting here. That's interesting. All right, well, I mean, he was gonna die anyway, so I guess if he's only gets stunned, it is what it is. This will take all those buffs off of goblins. So that's cool. All right, so listen, I played this as stupidly as I could with the 7 red star team, and we still get away with it. So live server, bigger team, this is easily simmed. If you're gonna play it out, even easier. If you're going to use your abilities like you should. We all know the Vigilante team inside and out because of all these pocket dimensions and negative dimensions and all that. So, that's not a problem. Alright, Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts Node. This is the team that I kind of went hardest on in my video yesterday. Again, if you're just going to have one node per team like this, but the team's going to flex in other spots, I think that's great. I think the Thunderbolts is an example of a team that flexes horribly. Okay, so Songbird's great. You use Songbird in other places. Taskmaster can go off and do his own war thing. I guess that's kind of like a curse, but I still feel like we should take this opportunity to gaslight the developers and make them rework Yelena and make a proper Thunderbolts war team. Can we all get on board with that? Oh, hey, wait, these guys have Illuminati. Speed up on spawn. We got some Bifrost characters, but there's no Sylvie, so no speed bar for them off it. That's good. We can't gain trauma because Songbird hasn't taken a turn yet. So we'll clear all these debuffs. That's cool. But now they have safeguards, so we can't really do anything there either. We take these hits super well. That is kind of scary. So we get an early expose out from the Vol. Now, can't get ability locked. Part of Songbird's kit is that her team cannot gain trauma or ability block before Songbird's first turn. So we're actually immune from that, which means we're going to dispel all this. And we're going to hit super hard because of it. So that's cool. But the safeguard on the Captain Britain, super lame. So we're not going to get anything off him or the Sasquatch. We will get it off the Vol, I guess. Is that even a thing that we care about, though? We waste the stun because that's what the AI sim would do. I'm thinking about the characters that we may or may not be able to skip. We'll talk about that when we're done all the nodes. And I really want to see the Hellfire Nodes because I'm hoping that I could leave Shot like level 65. Or not leave him there because I'm sure I'm going to use the characters. But I want to see if I can get through with him at level 65 because when the raid goes live today, that's as big as I'd be able to build him up because I just don't have gold right now. Vol has been... So, there's lots of exposes. Is she about to ult? If she ults, we're in trouble, right? Because she can revive a bunch of people. It does percentage damage. It'd be really annoying. What's going on here? Because I've been stuck on this Captain Britain for what feels like forever. Alright, well. Then there's that. So if you have diamonds on Taskmaster or you gear tier 20 him because you really like war, that's what you can expect him to accomplish. Speed up from Hyperion is good damage. Obviously, we're getting energy from the Victoria hand passives, and we're just wiping the floor with everybody now, so that's cool. This does trauma. Excellent. Trauma plus ability block. We get the ult. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't need your Thunderbolts as big as my Thunderbolts are. I don't think you need Gear Tier 20 on anybody. I think probably level 100, Gear Tier 19 would be more than enough for this with extra work into Songbird, probably. Because we didn't take any damage ever. Like... It's lined up so that the opening, the dangerous Illuminati opening, gets immediately countered by Victoria Hand, because she can't be ability block, right? She heals everything, takes the buffs off. It's all good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like you need to put too much into Thunderbolts to get through that. I know a lot of people didn't want to put too much into Thunderbolts, and they're not going to have to make up for that. That's for sure. Okay, so one thing that I know a lot of people are going to be interested in is, can you drop the difficulty down? So if I do not have... Yeah, if I do not have the Hellfire team, can I just drop it down and go in now? And it looks like I can. And it looks like the enemies are fucking free. What is that? So now it's Mutant. So I could use Extreme Old Man Logan like we currently use. And the enemies are 400,000 power. Okay. And, well, what does the currency drop down to? The currency, instead of being 350, drops down to 210. That's still a giant increase in overall gear tier 20. It's a loss in gold for sure. And probably antimatter. But it is a giant increase in gear tier 20 from the current Chaotic Storm Omega completion. Okay, giant's not the right word, sorry. Giant is not the right word. It's 350 times 7, or times, there's 8 nodes total, times 6. 350 times 6 plus 410 times 2, which is more than the 2400, I believe. Do some math on it. Edit it. Editor! Alright, let's do the Hellfire. We will do the hard nodes, because I want to see how the Hellfire Club is going to stack up. The Hellfire Club I actually have concerns with as far as, like, raid viability goes, because we tried them in the Chaotic Storm raids, and it was not fun. But the Chaotic Storm raids were meant to deal with the fast and furious extreme team, especially that Old Man Logan. These nodes were probably made not for that. So when I think about what my team looks like, I have 3 on Rachel. I actually have 4 on Azazel. I pulled a Pity Orb 100 on him. Madeline and Emma, they're both 105, but they have 3 diamonds, gear to 19. Sebastian Shaw for me will be 3 stars. Azazel's 19, Rachel's actually 20. So my team will be a lot smaller than this, which I find interesting. Or will they? Actually, Emma and Madeline diamonds might make this evenly built. So let's see how much lifting Madeline. Okay, so I'm worried about the speed this team gets off. I'm also worried about the damage, because when you think about the characters in Thunderbolts, Taskmaster, Ghost, they were able to carry the damage until Songbird got built. Vigilante, Punisher carries the damage still, right? So I have my concerns there. Let's see how much is on riding on Shaw and Rachel and all their kind of damage. Okay, so let's go for the slow. Okay, Rachel goes next. Do I try and play it as if it's Sim, or do I play it the way I would play it? Because the way I would play it is I would come over here and I would kill. I wouldn't want to hit that Thanos just yet. I guess we'll play it as if it's a Sim, so we can kind of see, like, because there's going to be a different way to play this. I would not have pushed that Thanos when I did. I don't want to lose these buffs. Although I guess we did get speed bar for getting kills. Would I ult here, or would I special? I'd probably special. I probably would have special there to hit the most amount of people. I'm not liking the way it says, because for me, my Madeline's going to have to do a lot more of the damage carry than what we're currently seeing here. I also would not have ulted there. There's no reason to have wasted that. I would have played this out differently, because I'm going to be relying on my Madeline to get so many of these kills. So many of these kills are going to have to come from this girl, and this ability is going to be clutch here. So yeah, I'm going to definitely be playing this differently. Now, Shaw is not going to be spam stunning here because he's not getting hit yet to get charges. Alright, is this unavoidable in raids or something? Alright, can't be dodging raids. Maybe everywhere, I'm not sure. God, that one was weird, right? Because Azazel really set the stage with like some defense downs, and so did Rachel, and then Madeline. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't see that's a lot, that word "think" is doing a lot of heavy lifting. All right, Legacy Node 2. Actually, I have no idea if this team gets energy on spawn. I know Azazel gives them energy when they get a kill, but I was spamming abilities, so maybe we're gonna be screwed here. Maybe. All right, so we got some Spider Society. We got some Undying characters. I don't know if these guys can be rewound. Ooh, yeah, Shaw being the fastest character means that Pav is going to put that slow on him. He now has 5 turns of slow. Obviously, we got to get that cleared off him after he takes a turn and gets rid of that trauma. That's crazy. Because we really want him to set the stage for us. I guess that's why he's got to be a pre-taunt because of this node, right? All right. We hit the Greg. Can we be turn me to rewound? It looks like we can. So we don't have alt turn 1. So yeah, there's no like energy on spawn for us here. I hate this. Because I want to play it intelligently. Intelligently, we use the special, okay? See, that's way better. Now we have defense down on people. Now I can actually rely on some of these characters to do damage if they're at lower stars. I'll definitely be playing these Hellfire Nodes out with my team, I'll tell you that much. Also, I don't love this. Like, in Prime Adjacents, I guess it's cool, but doesn't this special... Yeah, it gives speed bar to Emma Frost ally. So let's get this going, because now that he's lost the trauma, Emma Frost can clear the slow. Alright, so now we're cooking with the gas off instead of cooking with the gas off. I don't know. I don't know enough about the Hellfire Club to trust them to sim it yet, I guess. At higher stars, like, it's pretty clear these enemy nodes are trash. These enemy nodes are definitely showing that, yes, raids are a daily check-in. They are not supposed to be the focus of your attention when you're in-game. They probably want you to save that for, like, events, Battle World, Pocket Dimensions, War, Crucible, that kind of stuff, which I'm definitely a fan of. I don't want to be focusing an hour on raids daily, so the fact that they're super easy is fine, as long as building those teams is not then just like a complete and utter trash use of your resources. So we need use of these characters in other game modes. I mean, they need to be good in War, good in Crucible, or they need to be really good in these PvE flash events like Sword and Tower and this, that, and the other. So they can't be super slow. They're kind of super slow. I guess Azazel gets them off to the races. Emma does slow down the enemy, so there's some interest there. Hey, Hellfire Nodes, I don't know what to think about the Hellfire Nodes. I honestly don't. I think we're going to find out today when the raid goes live, when people go in with the 3-star on the new characters and there's the diamonds on Madeline, and we see what happens. So check out that video. We'll do it live. I'll probably... Whoa! It jumped down to the lowest difficulty. You guys see that? The enemies are 1,000. It jumped down to the lowest difficulty. So that only happened on the boss node. So keep an eye out for that, because that'd be super sad if you did the boss node. Let's put on the heroic difficulty. There's now no tags. We still have old ass enemies. The extreme team. Not even a Nightcrawler on spawn. There does seem to be a slightly big Quasar, but that... Okay, let's just throw Vigilante at it. We'll just throw Vigilante at it. I'm not even going to make any sort of super team because I saw absolutely nothing interesting in that first wave. Oh, I let my Vigilante team die. Let's throw Nightstalkers at it then. Oh, but okay. Well, I can tell you what. Let's throw Nightstalkers with Mephisto at it. How about that? Because we can do that now. See, guys, you can still do some theory crafting. It's just on the boss node. I get up against 600k enemies and one big Quasar. Is it targeting the Quasar at the gate? Tell me it is. Because then it's just super boring sim. He's in position 1, unless there's a taunt. Oh, there's a taunt. Okay. I'll do the ultimate. Why not, right? Well, basic here. So Blade's gonna flip his own thing now. That's cool. Yeah, I tell you what. Let's put it on sim. Let's see if this Quasar, if we just do nothing with 7 red star characters, will he get an ability off? And if so, will it instantly kill us? Is he that guy? Is he that guy? Let me talk about boss nodes for a second, because some of my favorite times in my earlier Marvel Strike Force experience was, like, I think it was Ultimus 5 or Ultimus 6, the boss node, teaming up with my allies to get through that boss. So like, hey, I took out the Ultimus, so now you can go in, you can clean it up, no problem. Yeah, good job, everybody. Teamwork. With the raid, he's not even gonna get... Okay. With the raid only being 8 nodes, and us, I think, generating, what, 12 free energy a day, it means we have a surplus of energy. What I really wish they would do, instead of whatever the heck this is, if you want to make the first nodes all super easy, so it's just a daily check-in, you're getting your node rewards, your completion rewards, all that, I think that's cool. I would still like there to be, even if it's not per lane, but just one big boss per team. And make it hard. Make it like 50 enemies and put Mephistos and Odins and freaking Professor X. Put that shit all over the place and let the Alliance really tackle it together. Maybe don't even include it as part of the 100% completion. Instead, like, when all the lanes are cleared, give an option for a captain to close out the raid. Or we can all dogpile that boss together. Maybe there's like an extra tier of completion if you do it, but it's not worth seasonal points, whatever the case may be. Just give me like a fun raid boss, right? Hopefully maybe Battle World will do that. It's over. Okay, I didn't see anything. I didn't even see the other nodes or waves come in. We just got through it. All right, I got some thoughts. I got some thoughts for sure here. This still took me 30 minutes to actually play them out. If it was my actual roster, with the exception of the Hellfire Club, each node would have taken 25 seconds. It would have been loading screen more than anything else. So what can I say? Orchis, you don't have to build super big for this. I think if they're level 100 gear to 19, you're fine. You'll have to play it, but you'll be fine. You probably leave a couple of them even lower if you go harder on, say, like a Lady Deathstrike to gear tier 20 for Professor X or a Nimrod. I think you'd be fine there. Don't think you got to overinvest in Orchis if you haven't already. Nightstalker, same thing. I actually would recommend building the 4 core Nightstalkers really high. Moon Knight, if you just build them up to 85 and give them the purple 3 ISO. Cool. I don't think he needs to survive or do anything in this node for you to beat it. And because there's not a second Nightstalker node, who cares if he dies, right? Who cares? So no, I don't think you need to build Moon Knight to the moon, unfortunately. You know, the cooler rule. Yeah, anyway. Uncanny Avengers, I mean, you built these guys for Spotlight. Spotlight raids actually seem on par with this. So I don't think you have to be concerned about that. So if you can handle Spotlight 2, you can probably handle this. And if you built Jean and Storm bigger for the Crucible, I think you'll have an even easier time, even if you do push that Thanos and lose your early speed up. If you're like playing it by hand, just use Falcon Special, get all your speed back, right? What's next? Vigilante. I mean, your team's gonna rip through this. I played this as stupidly as I could for memes, and we still got away with 3 characters alive. This one's easy. Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was kind of interesting, right? Because they got a lot of turns off. I know a lot of people just didn't really put much into Ghost, and they did a minimum build on Thunderbolts. With the size of these characters, I would probably be comfortable around like level 100, gear tier 19 on everybody, with the exception of Ghost. Although she does percentage damage, you can maybe skip her, leave her at like 85. I'd be curious to know who's going to be limit testing. For sure, there's going to be some creator, or there's going to be people in the community that are going to limit test these teams to see how they can actually perform and where you could skip. But this does not, it's like prescriptive for, it's prescriptive for sure. You have to build up certain characters, right? To at least level 85 ISO 3. But it doesn't feel like, oh, you have to gear to 20, all your teams, you're screwed. No, the nodes are made super easy, super. And because there's only one node per trait with the exception of Hellfire, if one of your characters dies, who cares? Who cares? Because the boss node has no prescriptions, right? The Hellfire nodes were limited. There was a hood on that node. I didn't even see that guy. I didn't even see him. What happened to him? Okay. I saw the in-game Thanos. I saw the glider. That's the only thing. And the Morgan. That's the only thing I remember from those nodes. Because I was thinking, is Morgan going to get a turn and rewind me and ruin this? We'll see on the live server with the smaller team. The Hellfire team, I'm not sure. We're going to do live limit testing tomorrow. Or today, sorry. I'm recording this the night before. Today, when the raids go live, because I will have very, very small characters. And like I said, my Shaw is going to be like level 65. This is the exception, right? This is where there's going to be 2 nodes. So if I have a level 65 Shaw, it might be that I have to heal him every single one time every day until I can build him up higher. Assuming that I'll still be able to beat the nodes with like Madeline Pryor doing all the lifting. And the boss node was an absolute joke. I don't know. The boss node was really dumb. Alright guys, that's it for the gameplay. Let me know what you think about these Annihilation raids. Again, if you guys want to continue the conversation we were having in the last night's video about rewards and structure and this, that, and the other, and the value of raid teams, we can get back to it in the comment sections. But for now, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. 10% just while recording this? God damn, I need a new phone. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.